The first basic knowledge you need to have is that your land must have an access road to it. All right. So a lot of times people don't consider these things, especially when the land is in a newly developing area. The land is not cleared yet. They just showed you that is your road. This road will serve you. And at the end of the day, you now found out that the road that they said would serve you is actually belonging to, is actually close to another person's property, or is actually on another person's land. So these things really need to be sorted out before you pay for the land. Now, one of the best ways to find out this is that you should go for a land that has the layout plan has been done. In a layout plan is showing the road and the land. So it's showing you the access road and it's showing you the land, but not all lands usually have this. So you should go for, you should actually find out which where is your access road, the access road leading to your property before you pay for it. I remember I was on a project and there was this neighbor around the site where we were working, and you know, he came to meet us that it was just demanding for some, imagine he was demanding for some particular portion of the land where we were working on, so that he can have access to his own property. So apparently what happened was, when they were selling the property, his own land to him, they showed him a particular space where can be used, I mean, where his road is, but apparently that place was close to somebody's land. It was actually somebody's land. So these are the things land sellers do, realtors. These are the things they do sometimes, that they use it to trick people, and sometimes even the road is not big enough, so you have to start begging your neighbors to give you some space. Then you also have to give part of your small land so that you can, I mean, trucks that are coming to deliver materials to the site will be able to have access to the land. Now, number two is topography. Now, this is very important. A lot of times people don't consider this, especially when people who are abroad are buying lands. Somebody just tells them, oh, the land, the land is very good, is in a very good location, but they don't consider how slopey or how flat the land is. Now, it is always not possible to find a flat land. All right, this is based on my experience, but it is important to be sure that the land is not too slopey for you to do your construction. Now, when the land is too slopey, it means that you're going to spend more money on construction. For instance, if the land is too slopey, it's either you have to cut and fill the land, you have to do some filling on the land. This means that you need to spend some money before you start doing the foundation, or you have to build it like that. Now, this can be very possible if you have a very good architect who can play with the topography and all that, or you are the kind of person that wants to play with nature. But if you just want to build a nice apartment and you don't want to spend so much money, or you want to do commercial, you want to use it for a commercial purpose, and you don't want to spend so much money trying to fill the land and all that, so this must be part of your negotiation. So let's say, for instance, normal cost of land in that area is 10 million naira. They also want to sell this particular land for 10 million naira, and it is very slopey. You need to negotiate to about 5 million naira or to about 3 million naira or something very nice. You have to consider the cost of you doing some works on the land before you actually start construction. Number three is the nature of the soil. The nature of the soil. Now, in a lot of cases, people don't put these things into consideration. Now, why this is very important is because I live mostly in Ibadan, so most of the land in Ibadan, major lands that I've really worked on are dry land, but in few occasions I've worked on some lands that are not exactly dry. So what I tell people, if you inform me before you purchase such land, I would let you understand that you will spend more money trying to do some work on the foundation. It's the kind of foundation you do for a dry land is different from what you do for a waterlogged area. Or say, for instance, so you have to consider what you're going to spend. So, and again, if the normal cost of land in that area is 10 million naira, you need to negotiate it, because you have to factor in the cost of construction into what you're buying. So at the end of the day, you will not have purchased the land at the normal price, then you now still spend so much money to put a foundation on it. So you need to consider it. So if it's a dry land, it's a good buy. But if it's not a dry land, if it's a waterlogged area, then you need to really consider your negotiation on the land. Number 4 is the shape of your land. Now, a lot of times people don't take these things into consideration when they are buying land. So they just pay for your land and they now start giving the architects a very big problem, trying to look for a way to put a very good design on the land. If you just want to have a property on that land, that is very good. But if you're going to have like multiple buildings on the land, especially if you're looking into commercial real estate, then you need to consider the shape of the land, because at the end of the day, you may not be able to achieve what you intend to achieve. Now, the land may be up to let's say you buy a land that is supposedly 3 plots, and is actually in terms of square meters, it is 3 plots, but the shape may be a disadvantage. So when you're buying a land, you need to actually consider the shape. Now, the best lands to buy is either a square or a rectangle. All right. So in fact, the best land to buy is, for me, the best land that I consider is the one that has the access road on the longer side of the land. Now you can play with a lot of, you can do some kind of elevations or on such properties. So now what I'm trying to say is that you need a land surveyor to help you confirm the shape of your land. Now, how do you achieve this? When you're buying a land, don't ever buy a land without involvement of your lawyer, your surveyor, and your architect. So one of the things that will happen is that your lawyer will confirm the whatever document that is on the land. Then your lawyer is going to actually be the one to do the purchase agreement. All right. The lawyer is also going to help you find out, in some cases, if the land has been mortgaged. All right. I won't be able to go into that. All right. So, but the land surveyor is actually going to help you find out. Is going to take measurement of the land and going to reveal the shape of the land to you. Now, these are few things that you actually need to do before you pay for that land, so that you will not buy a land that will not be useful. But you see, it only takes about a day for a surveyor to take the measurement and sketch it out on the paper and show you, okay, this is the size of the land, this is the shape of the land, and you can also ask your architect, will this shape be perfect for my real estate investment? Number 5 is you need to find out the actual measurement of your land. Now, the measurement most of the time has been used to trick people. For instance, they will say the land is 50 by 100. Most of the time, when you find out 50 by 100, 50 means 50 feet. 50 feet is about 15 meters, 24 feet. So it's about 15 meters basically. About 100 feet is about 30 meters. Okay. So by the time you multiply 15 meters times 30 meters, that's about 450 square meters, which may not really be enough for you if you want to build multiple apartments on the land. You need a surveyor to check the measurements of the land, to check the shape of the land. You actually need a surveyor to confirm in a case where there's already a survey plan on the land. Okay, some people would have done a survey plan on their land, but you need to confirm if the survey plan is actually the same with what you have on the land. So you need to find, because I found out that a lot of times they use a particular survey plan to sell the land, but what is on the land is actually different. It's lesser than what is in the survey plan. So you need your surveyor to confirm this. You need to check the measurements. The measurements must be enough for you to do whatever project or whatever building you want to put on it, so that at the end of the day, you are not buying what you're not supposed to buy. You're not paying so much for what you're supposed to pay so less for. You need 3 people, very important. I'll talk about this in my subsequent videos. You need 3 people for your real estate investment. You need a lawyer that is very vast in real estate investment. Then you need a surveyor. Surveyor will tell you if this. You see 3 things that your surveyor will find out for you. Number 1 is it will find out if the land is not within government acquisition. Number 2 is it will find out the shape of the land. Then it will also find out if your land is not within another person's property, another person's land. Okay, you also find out the measurement, the real measurement. Don't follow the trick of 50 by 100. A lot of times people are falling for these things, and you see they will just find out that what they are buying is not actually what they are supposed to buy. You know, I've seen people who have been sold a land of 350 or 400 square meters to them at the price of a land of 600 square meters. Okay, these are the things. This is why you need to carry a surveyor along when you're doing all these things. Then you also need to carry your architect along, so that your architect will be sure that what you're paying for will be enough to erect the structures, the building, your real estate commercial properties that you want to do. All right, so that will be all on this video. I'll see you in another video. Thank you.